Hi. Today I wanted to ask you a question which I very frequently employ in verbal feedback with teachers I've observed. So, formal or assessment based or developmental observations. And I very often will open by asking teachers, why did you make your students sit where they sat at the beginning of the lesson? Why did you allocate those places to those students? And obviously, this is a loaded question, isn't it? It brings up a whole can of worms, really, about the implication is that we should have a reason for where people sit in our classes, and there should be a sort of rationale behind that, and that we should be making those decisions. Now, clearly, this isn't the case in every scenario. And you could very reasonably make a case for just letting them sit where they want. We mostly, as teachers, let students sit wherever the hell they like, really. Um, uh, and you could say this is because it relaxes them, because they feel more comfortable, they're more receptive to learning. It reduces that idea of Krashen's affective filter, reduces stresses that stop them learning. There are good arguments to make of that. But I would counter those arguments by pushing it back onto you to say, well, okay, where's the proof of that? Where's the results? What can you show me that says letting them sit where they like gets better results than selecting where people sit? So there's not really a kind of right and wrong answer to this, but it brings up an important aspect of our classroom practice, and it's part of a much bigger whole. There is a basic principle of teaching and learning involved here. Really basic thing that for me is one of the kind of the main characteristics of a good teacher, a really good teacher. But we'll touch on this in another video, perhaps. Let me know what your thoughts are. If someone asked you about the last lesson you taught, why did you allocate those seats to those students? And very often our answer is, I didn't allocate it. But we'll just ask you why, ask you to justify the seating arrangement in your class. See what you think about it in terms of your own practice. I'll be interested to find out. Anyway, bye.